Hello. Kann man mich hören? Can you hear me? Good. I don't speak that much, probably. We will see. Nice. Good to hear that. Internet is probably shitty, but we will try nonetheless. So, I'm open for suggestions of any kind, what to draw. This is just for the moment a test to come into this. I have no plans whatsoever, so bombard me with ideas. That's the ugliest oviraptor I ever tried to draw. Well, let's check the chat. Send nukes. Oh, yeah, of course. I will draw some Tapejara bombers nuking away all of the Bahariya formation. How about that? Tapejara reeds are always a great idea, I must confess. Let's make this a little bit bigger. Maybe a softer brush. A little bit smaller. So how is it going out there in the world? I hope the streaming quality is okay enough. Yeah. Because on my screen it's saying that the quality is rather low, but I will work on it in the future. Let's get back to this puppy. Oh, and I should probably announce on Facebook that I'm streaming. Let's see. And post it. Maybe sharing it in the Paleo Artist group could be a nice idea. Excuse my shitty English. And post it. And let's continue. Maybe the brush is a little bit too small. That's comfortable. The nice thing about tapestry reeds are their very long, slender metacarpals here. And I just love to draw their crests, so every new tapestry reed out there is always welcome. Bloop. And I need to work on my setup here, because in the moment I can just see what I draw, not the chat, so I have to click between the tabs back and forth. They are fabulous boys. Oh, that's right. Zomba. Oh, hello Robin. Nice to have you here. Adrian Thompson also. Oh, hey. So far it looks extremely ugly, but I'm just getting warmed up. Normally before I do speed sketches, I draw one or two different subjects to come a little bit into digital drawings again, because yeah, normally I prefer the pencil, and my graphics tablet isn't the best, so it needs more practice. Definitely more practice, but it begins to look a little bit better. I should probably add another hind limb. Yeah, looks better. As you might have seen when you know my work on pteros, I tend to draw pterosaurs grounded and not so much flying, because I think the extremely weird proportions tend to be come over much better when landed. Especially in animals like Artstarchids, but also even familiar genera like Rhamphorhynchus. They have so bizarre proportions with their very long wings, and you don't see every day a tetrapod with a skull the size of its own body. So I like to show that to the viewer, because most people aren't used to seeing such animals, and that's one of the main problems why so many artists, even some that are working for some time in paleo art, tend to do it wrong when it comes to the proportions of pterosaurs, because they are so counterintuitive. Let's see what the chat is doing. It looks so fluffy. Yes, it is pretty fluffy. There's actually a paper coming that shows that tapejarids had quite a lot of fluff. When you look on the YouTube channel of Paleocasts, there is a talk they recorded that where the researcher speaks about a new specimen of 2-pound dactylus, I think, and another one, and they describe the integument of these beasts, which is quite unusual. And I like to play with that a lot. Yeah. Not so bad for a warm-up sketch. I probably will roughly color that one, so post your ideas for colorations in the comment section, please. In the chat, not comment section, what I'm doing here. You see, I'm new to this. Yeah, of course I have yet no references to work from, but it should be roughly credible a little bit. When you sketch these guys for days, you end up getting a feeling for their anatomy. That's why I need to sketch more ceratopsians, for example, because I suck when it comes to ceratopsians. It's the worst. I need maybe one in 300 sketches is worth keeping in that case. So yeah, let's check the sketch. Brown and blue, says Jaden. Not bad. Maybe bright blue crest strips. Did he send nukes? No, not yet. That will come later. Ah, flying foxes. That's also nice. Maybe, yeah. We mix flying fox with some blue stuff. Yeah, pink. Maybe later. It's still too early for pink. Let's see what is a nice brown for the body. A little softer. Different brush mode. Oh, that's too large. Still too large. Little bit. Yeah. More like that. Yeah. That works better. Probably a little bit larger. The brush. Yeah, usually the body of flying foxes, when I remember correctly, is darker than the neck in some species, so I will probably make the body a little bit darker. Yep. So for the beginning that works, it will be yep. That could do it. Now with a different mode. Yeah. To give it a little bit more texture. Yeah, that works. Kind of. Need to work a little bit more on the details later. Darker. And a little bit larger. Yep. That could work. Or maybe yep, and now some bright blue on the crest. Also on the lower jaw a little. White spots here a little brighter. try to find a satisfying pattern for the crest. Not perfect, but we are getting there. Some cleaning up. Maybe some light filaments behind the eyes. Maybe some sexy eyelashes. What about that? Yeah. We have to remember these animals had probably the same problems as we today, with dirt in the eyes and so on, and wind during flight. So they had probably similar structures. Of course, they could also have a transparent scale covering the whole eye, but considering its phylogenetic position, I think that's rather unlikely to have snake-like eyes. Maybe something reddish for the feet. Oopala. And whoops, that was way too large. These dirty feet. Yep. So I will check back into the chat soon. Just a few more details here. Probably a little bit darker. These wings are still shitty, but well, let's see if anyone is still left. How many is it? 13 visitors so far. Nice. Erase them from. Trust me, I'm a pterosaurologist, okay? I don't believe you. No. I'm using GIMP in the moment. It's not the best, but it works. I will probably in the future experiment with some other programs, but yeah, in the moment this is enough. The nice thing is GIMP has quite a lot of tool windows open usually, but OBS doesn't recognize them as the same program, so they don't appear on the stream, usually, or when I record something with it. So you have just the picture and how it develops instead of all this crap I have to deal with here. Yeah, I like it more and more. Look, that was one line too much. Maybe clean up the crest a little bit more. And the feet. Yeah, that works for now. There you have it, a little tapejara. It looks not so much like tapejara itself now, more like one of these Asian guys. Huaxipterosmani, I think was the name. I will quickly save this. For later, you never know. Yes. So. And next one. Any more suggestions in the comments? It's like human feet, but cooler. Yes, that's true. But mostly because on the other side of the animal you have the wings. Meiolania. No, I didn't kill it. I saved it. I saved it before it went into oblivion. I saved its soul. It's now encoded in pure data. Trilobite. I like trilobites, but they are. The diversity is so huge. I never can't decide what to draw. Meiolania is nice. I think we had Spinosaurus earlier, but Meiolania is less known, so let's do that. That reminds me, it's a turtle. I should probably quickly Google how the armor of these guys looks again, because turtle shells are the worst. There are so many important details you shouldn't forget. Meiolania. Let's see. Yeah. Ooh. Yeah, that works for me. Okay. Let's start as usual with a shell. Nah. For those who don't know, Meiolania is a very large extinct turtle from Australia, and one species is from New Caledonia. There were, I think the largest species grew up to nearly 2 meters in length, something like that. And yeah, even over 2 meters I see here. And where's a good picture of the skull? Oh, there's my last sketch of it. Thank you, Google. Oh well. And these guys were heavily armored and probably went extinct, most likely. What do I say? Most likely, certainly, because of human intervention, because humans arrived in their habitat and killed them all, eat their eggs, most likely just eat their eggs. That was probably enough, considering that the population was probably never that large. The skull should be larger. Don't worry, it will not be headed for long. Smaller again. Interesting with these guys is that they had a spiny tail. Was nearly like something like a early Ankylosaurus tail, similar to Polarcanthus. Works better. Meiolania is actually not the only member of its family. There were quite a few Meiolanids from the end of the Cretaceous up into the most recent past, and many of them grew, like Meiolania itself, to enormous size for a turtle. The shell looks not ideal. Should be a little bit flatter, more bumpy actually. Let's look at some photos again. Oh, that works. Yeah, the back end should be a little more drawn out. Yep. This way is better. Oh, and I should probably give it this time a shade on the ground that makes it better. Let's see what the chat is saying. Yeah, it looks indeed like a retro ankylosaur. Very much. It's so nice. All these guys all these people who complain about that modern paleontology ruins their childhood. Look out there into the world. All these animals you miss are still there. Just not dinosaurs. I'm actually in the moment working on a new podcast, which also features some discussion about Brian J. Ford, a man who thinks that most dinosaurs, especially the large ones, were actually aquatic, especially sauropods. And I actually watched a video of him, a talk he gave about the subject, quite a long one, I think 52 minutes or so, and had a battle in the comments section with one of his supporters. Yeah, and that was probably the reason I now make a whole list of arguments against his hypothesis. And as you will see, it holds not up very well, his arguing. I forget it so often to actually make the picture a little bit darker before adding highlights like these. I like to work on toned paper because it helps quite a lot to sculpt in a way your figures. Yeah, maybe I should give him here something to eat. Otherwise there's no real reason to look down like that. Yep. That works for me. Maybe some more shades in the background, shades of trees or other vegetation to make it stand out a little bit more. hope I don't draw too fast. I know OBS can sometimes be a little bit tricky with fast brush movements. It has problems to catch it all. I will soon check the comments, the chat for some comments. Yeah. Nah, it's fine. Okay, thank you. Thank you for telling me. What else has? Yes, he used outdated dinosaur toys as models, which is, yeah, maybe 80 years ago that was a legit technique to measure the volume and weight of extinct species, but nowadays it's a little bit more sophisticated. Yes, Kalen, you spot there Austroraptor or something in that direction. It was a very quick, yeah, sketch of something to get the attention of potential viewers. I think I need to work a little bit more on the forelimbs here to get the impression of scales on here. These guys were really tanky, like some modern tortoises, but probably even more. This is probably even still not enough. And some more highlights. You see here it helps a lot to make the picture all over a little bit darker, the background, to better catch the shape of these scales. Same over here. Well, too dark. And now it begins to work. And the tail too. Of course, you can't have a non-scaly tail when you draw a Meiolania. Oop. Now it looks a little bit hairy, but okay, I can work with that. Let's have a look at the chat. Turtles with feathers? No, not today. Yeah, plastic models, plastic monsters are great models. especially for real scientists, it's the best. It's the best you can have. It's so sad that they aren't used more, you know. Let's have a look from afar. Yep, it begins to work. Maybe a little bit more ground clutter helps always. To make the animal a little bit more grounded in its environment. Fun fact, I hate drawing ground clutter, especially in conifer forests. All these needles of the pines, and oh, it kills me from inside every time I do it, but well, when you want to make it look good, it's the price to pay. Yeah. Bad. Better. Yes. That's okay. So maybe a little bit color all over it. Let's see. Some fresh green. Oh, a little bit more. Yep. Good enough. And some more color for the animal itself, probably. Yep. And some maybe more brown for the limbs. You see, I slowly coming into the flow now. Yep. Now I can add some more highlights. Ooh. Oh, I think I know what I should add next. No large herbivore picture is complete without some poop. I think we can all agree on that. Especially some bird guano is always welcome. Some more highlights on the spikes here. Ah, too bright. like that. So, highlights on the horns. So, yep. It's coming together nicely. Yes. Maybe now some work with the curves. Come on. Yep. That works for me. Let's see what the chat says. Yes, bird shit is very dangerous. You don't want to get hit by some guano spikes. Oh, Adrian's back as well. Good. Oh yeah, that's true. Some turtles can be very colorful and explosive, of course. Yes, Zomba, you are right. Explosive tail spikes are the worst when you are out in the field and suddenly these turtles jump on you and rip you to pieces and destroy all your camp with their Pokemon tails. I must confess, I was never a fan of Pokemon. For me it was always like these were wannabe dinosaurs. So why should I bother about them when I had the real deal? Ah, that's too bright. Try to make it look a little bit like a bamboo forest here. Yeah. Well, I am satisfied for now. I will save and then let's carry on with the next one. By the way, you can also post questions of any kind in the chat. Meiolania 1. And now kill it with a holy eraser. No. Let's look into the chat. Where do I post my art? I have a DeviantArt account. You find a link in the description of every video I post. And I have there also a folder explicitly for speed sketches. I do. Fluffy T-Rex. No. Paraceratherium or Deodon. Hard to choose. Ribbed turtle, yes, but it will rise again in its new deviant art form one day. Thylacoleus, also cool, but I think I will go Meiolania. Ooh, another island taxon. Tiktaalik. Oh, I just recently did one for dinosaurs in the wild. Turtle Jesus. Turtle Jesus is also a good idea. What to do? I think Zach Robinson's idea isn't bad. Paraceratherium. I haven't done one of these in ages. And I think I will do it a little bit different this time. First establishing a little bit the background before going. Inventieren. Then to lay down a little bit of landscape here. Now let's draw some giant rhinoceroses. Maybe I should open a new layer for this. Layer. I need lawyer. So to have a basic grid to work on. Because this will involve a little bit more perspective this time. And I should probably also quickly Google on my phone how exactly the skull of this beast looked again. Because as you might know, I'm not so used to drawing mammals. Oh god, now I will get lots of... Oh, yes. Minus arc. Because the web is too full of these guys. Better. Skeleton. I should look for the skeleton. because I don't want just to copy another artist. That's way too common these days. Ah, yeah, that's something I can work with. Oh, no, not that one. Yeah, look, I already made some mistakes. Yep. Now it looks like a zombie, but I don't care for the moment. Should probably be a little bit more beefy. Yes, that's down here some knee. Oh, that's something to work with. Let's have a quick look into the undead rhinos. Yes, still undead, but no longer. I saw you on a bang stream. Yes, I recently discovered Lord Bang's channel, and I'm totally in love with his work. You can expect me there more often, probably. Is it possible that I'm on the no, I'm on the right layer. Okay, let's give this skull a face. As you might have noticed, these files are pretty small. I'm working on here to give GIMP not too much to work with. The smaller the file, the better it can operate. And I want to have the stream as smooth as possible. Little bit more. Nope. That's the problem when you do the background first. The nose could be larger. I have a book by Mauricio Anton that's very helpful when it comes to reconstructing mammals, especially cats. I have to read that a little bit more closely in the future, because there's probably a commission coming up where I have to do quite a lot of mammals. The hump should be a little bit further back, and I should keep. Otherwise it's not in line with the shoulders, and that looks just wrong. Yeah, more like that. Now we can, oh no, first I should give the legs a few more lines. They are very, very basic in the moment. That's better. Now it's a typical rhino feet, but much more slender. Yes, oh, and I should probably add tail dangling down there. Maybe something else dangling down there too later, but we will see. And I should probably remember to shade it in the way that it makes sense, because the sun is behind the animal. So its front is mostly dark in the shade. Yes, now it begins to look like an animal. So some light here, and the ears are probably a little bit transparent and lit from the back side. Yes. A step further back. Oh, and I should add some shadow on the ground. Let's have a look in the chat. I draw one Procoptodon using him as a reference and learn it can't hop after it's finished. That's unfortunate. But Mauricio is normally quite on point in his reconstructions, and maybe it was an older one. I think this study on the hopping quality of Procoptodon isn't the oldest. Yes, I'm German. Hello, Jochen from the Netherlands. I actually have a Dutch professor. She is managing our class. It's nice to have someone from over here. If you live near the German border, actually, you can come every year to Münster. I study in Münster and can visit me there, because we have an annual exhibition called the Rundgang, where we show what we have worked on over the last year. And I just noticed that something about the legs seems to be not quite right. I will have to look at that later again. Yeah, that works for now. Can now make that off. Yep. But as you see here, this leg is a little bit too far in the background. I probably need to remove that and bring it a little bit more into the foreground. Otherwise it looks not quite right, at least to me. And I will add a new a fourth leg there, at least parts of it. So quick question, is the streaming quality still okay? Still manageable? I'm looking into the chat. Yeah, damn it, Atlantic Ocean. I think that every time when the annual SVP meeting is again held in North America. I curse plate tectonics on a daily basis. I want to see dragons, dinosaurs and aliens. Maybe later. We will see. So zoom out again. Oh, that foot is too small. A little bit bigger. It should be about this size, more, something like that. Yeah. And a little bit more beef on the legs, because you can't have enough beef on your Paraceratherium legs, and probably some light coming from the ground here is also worth trying. Okay, now some color. Upsala. Let's give it some yellowish orangey color overall. Oh, a little bit more. With more orange to the outer parts. Oh, that's too much. Yep. And yes, for the beginning. And I should probably make the horizon not so sharp. So for the shades here I use a dark purple, probably. Yeah, as it should work. A little bit darker. Not so. Yeah, that's better. Ah, still. Yes. Bit more color. It's quite interesting sometimes to look at photos and try to determine the real color of the shadows, because oftentimes it's not really just darker. It's quite a lot of more orange. No, smaller. And for the half tones I go a little bit more reddish. Ah, not quite like that. And also for the bouncing light on the belly and the limbs. Yeah, that works for me. Maybe change the colors a little bit more. And not so much. Schatten. Yes, that works. For those who don't know, Paraceratherium is known from Mongolia and lived in quite arid desert-like conditions, probably. So I try to get a little bit of the feeling of the environment into this sketch. I should probably activate my grid here again. I will add some little bushes here, or grass. Something like that. Try to give the ground here a little bit texture. Still. Zoom out a little bit more. Probably more like this. Yes. That works better. Nice. So I'm quite satisfied. What are you thinking? I will now look into the comment section. Hello, Kevin. Free food? We have no free food here. Everything has a price. I never take shadow color into account. That's probably why my artwork looks so shitty and faded. It can look good when it's done correctly. Yeah, it's tricky. Of course, when you work in black and white, yeah, then it's just a matter of how much you press with your pencil, but yeah, color is tricky. Color and light can be tricky. I can recommend you some of James Gurney's books on that matter, because he describes some of this, how to work this out very well. I'm still no master in it, and no, not really the best teacher. So let's save this one. Paraceratherium. Upsala. How long is the stream going? Oh, 1.5 hours nearly. Ui. And just 3 sketches so far. Shame on me. Nah. I will quickly check social media. Yes. Looks great. Okay. That's all I want to hear. And I have saved it. So what should we tackle next? I think what was the last thing that was recommended? Daeodon, Thylacoleo. I like Thylacoleo, but it has so many mammaly, squishy parts that I'm not so familiar with. What next? Maybe I'm just doing a Spinosaurus. What do you guys think? What do you guys think? Do Spino, 2 Spinos, okay. All Reptilids, also nice. But Spino is something I can do anytime, so I will probably do that. Platycarpus, Mosasaurs, oh, Mosasaurs are also nice. I'm drawing a Spino right now, says Zomba. Yeah, so why not? Spino is also something nice to tackle, and so always something rather controversial because of the known Ibrahim and Sereno 2015 paper with the toast sail and short legs. I must say I'm pretty convinced when it comes to the length of the legs, but I'm not convinced about the shape of the sail. That's something I'm not quite sure about. And as you see here, I have drawn many Spinosaurus in my life already, because I actually worked on a book about it, and that's will be published next year, and you can actually help getting this started, because our writer is currently a little bit short of money, and for the last illustrations we still lack payment. The title is The Old Kingdom, and it's about the rural region of Northern Africa with the Kem beds and the Bahariya Formation and some other places that are not so well known to most people, but are full of fascinating fossils. And it's mostly written in a way that it tries to paint you a picture of the rural ecosystem. Not just say, oh, look at these giant awesome theropods and these giant sauropods, but to get a feeling for the rural ecology of the region, which is quite unique, because we have very little herbivores and quite a lot of large carnivores, which raises the question how these animals supported how this ecosystem was possible. And one way this very productive ecosystem was able to maintain itself was by getting a lot of nutrients basically from outer sea, by fishes that came up the streams and provided the large theropods with food, especially Spinosaurus, but probably also other theropods. And we know, for example, from regions in Alaska that annual migrating salmons makes a rural region bloom. In general, you find traces of salmon molecules even in the trees there. So it has quite an impact. Oh, and I like to make my Spinosaurs at least slightly feathered, by the way. The post-orbital region could be better. Spinosaurus especially has quite a weird skull, and it takes some training to get used to its morphology. Maybe I should add here a suitable prey item. Or something easy. Like a giant lungfish, Ceratodus tuberculatus. There were actually quite a few very large lungfish species within the Cam beds and barrier formation. I recently downloaded a paper by Ernst Stromer, and the original researcher that described Spinosaurus, and he shows their huge diversity of lungfish tooth plates that he found and collected in the formation where Spinosaurus was found. Oops. Yep. Let's have a look into the chat. Spino Party. Oh, lots of people are apparently working on Spinosaurus. Hello, illegal alien. Welcome to the stream. Well, now I know what I want for my birthday. That's a great idea. Hello, three-tail art. Yes, there are pretty few paleo art YouTubers in the moment, and I haven't seen a stream so far either, so welcome. And I hope to make more of these in the future. Probably a little better setup and announced beforehand. This one was very spontaneous. I thought, well, let's try this streaming thing everyone is doing at the moment and see how it works, and if people are interested in this at all. By the way, share this stream in all social medias if you want. The larger the crowd, the better. That works. A little bit more shade on the fish here. Now let's make this whole picture a little bit darker. Yep, that works. Of course, this makes all these highlights much better to apply. Well, I think for next time I will choose a little larger file to better work on the details. Some neck floof. Oop. At first, Spinosaurus, the new look of Spinosaurus was really tricky to me, I think to every paleo artist. Besides, of course, Davide Bonadonna, because he made the initial artwork for the paper. But the longer I sketched it, the more I got used to it, and yeah, after some time you just suck in this anatomy and can draw it in your sleep even. Some cleaning of the crest here and there. Yep. The snout looks a little odd, but I don't care at the moment. It's just a sketch after all. And now some color again. It will be no, that's too much. It will be an evening scene. No, still. Yeah, that works better. A little softer the brush. Yeah, that's better. By the way, I just uploaded a new speed sketching video showing Archegosaurus, medium-sized temnospondyle, also known from Germany. And the inspiration for that was, on the one hand, the birthday of a Facebook friend, and on the other, a paper he sent me, which shows that temnospondyles had quite often very weird scales, especially on their belly side, with some very weird patterns there, and it's very unusual to see these portrayed in paleo art, so I thought that's something nice to come back into speed sketching. And here we are. As overall. Yeah, that works. Let's have a look into the chat. Welcome, Ceratopraptor. I think I haven't seen you so far. Yes, that's true. It's rather unlikely that Spinosaurus was a knuckle walker. The theropod shoulders and arms aren't very suited for such locomotion. So it's much safer to assume that these guys were just not very mobile on land. Yeah. Less. Yep. And now some shining through light at the sail. And some bouncing of light at the belly. I think that should work. Okay, so I should probably work on the arms again. The stupid cable. Nope. A little bit more shadow here and there. I think I will add here some water, actually. This is a little bit darker and some reflections now on the surface. cause some Michael Bay lens flare. Because no Spinosaurus image can live without it. Yep. That's your Spinosaurus. Okay. Yep, I'm pretty satisfied. You can already post some other suggestions in the chat. I will soon have a look at them. Yeah, so the lip debate with Spinosaurus is also something. I'm not quite sure about how it would look. I like to give my Spinosaurus yeah, a bit of both. So exposed teeth at the tip of the snout and lipped parts further in the back after the hook in the front. Yeah. Pterosaur, Alamosaurus. Meiolaniasaurus. Also nice, but I did recently a lot of dwarfed sauropods, so some of the big boys are nice too. Yeah, I actually did recently a lot of Europasaurus. And I will probably do in the future a lot more of them for a project I can't tell you much about yet. But yeah, it's not even sure if it will be if it will happen at all. We will see. But Paraceratherium, all these juicy sauropods. Let's go with Alamosaurus. I haven't done one in ages, and I like to do that a little bit different. perspective on sauropod legs is or no, on their necks, not legs, is can be very tricky. I should probably have done a grid like in the Paraceratherium before starting this, but it's fine. We will get there the other way too. Yeah, so let's do the neck again, at least the upper part. Yeah, it's looking better now. Yeah, and Alamosaurus of course gets some osteoderms, but first let's give it some shadows. Yeah. Yeah, let's have a quick look at the chat. Oh, you even heard the cat in the background. Yeah, that's our older cat, and he wants some attention. He's actually in the next room, so I'm surprised how well this microphone works. Off with the head, yes, indeed. I love the perspective too. Thank you. Yeah. Let's work on that a little bit more. Whoop. What's that? sometimes GIMP bugs out and produces the strangest things with its brushes. I don't know where this comes from. No, it could be a little bit darker actually. Oh, too much. Still. That's fine. Actually could be a little bit broader, I think, the wool animal, because titanosaurs, in difference to brachiosaurs or diplodocids, they're very broad built. So when you look at footprints or the skeletons itself, they, whoops, from the front they are. You begin to understand why they named them titanosaurs. They are just enormous. Yeah, that works. Oh, Timmy. We might have a little I might need a little rest here in a moment to feed the cats, because for whatever reason he likes to be especially active and annoying during this hour of the night. Oh, but before I do that, maybe some branches here in the foreground. Yep. And they get some light as well. Oh, a little bit smaller. Some conifer branches. Yep. Okay. Quick look at the chat. Meow. I know. Yes, I will add lots of osteoderms, but first I will give that little Mau some food. Let's see. Oh. Timmy, komm. Ja, komm. Oh, wo ist das denn? Kasimir, das ist mein Platz. Hier, du sitzt auf meinem Platz jetzt. Hey. Okay. Back to business. Let's add some details. No, that's not from you, Kasimir. Something important about sauropod nostrils probably is, I see that all the time, they are often portrayed as being too small. But based on the data we have, they had probably the diameter of the breathing tubes in the neck, the tracheae, I think they are pronounced. Because to fill these huge lungs and air sacs with enough oxygen-rich air required quite some intake. I think I will add some osteoderms now. Interesting about these osteoderms, it was for a long time believed that these were purely defensive structures, but because they covered only small parts of the body, they were probably not very useful to defend the animal against predator attacks. But as the internal structure of these bones shows, they could have acted like a calcium storage. To support the growth and the production of eggshells during the breeding season. But on the other hand, there were some titanosaurs, especially Phytosaurus from France, who showed huge diversity in forms of osteoderms, and they were quite large in some cases, so it's very possible that at least some taxa use these structures for defense, passive or active. I think there was a paper on osteoderms known referred to Alamosaurus, but I can't quite remember, especially not quite remember its form of the material. So it's a little bit of guesstimating at what I'm doing here. Let's see some. Oops, wrong. It's this one. Yep. Think I will do this some part of the skull again. Nope. Again. Yes. Yes, much better. Not so blocky anymore. Some sauropods had very broad snouts, but not that broad necessarily. I think I will make the overall picture a little bit darker again. Yep. So adding highlights is easier again. Now the structure, the texture of the animal comes over a little bit better. Oh, they should probably add toes to the hind feet. That would be ideal. Oops. And a little some claw here. I think I will leave this one black and white, and we will carry on with the next one if you still want to. Please post your opinions about the stream so far in the chat. I will look at it soon. Oh, that's too dark. Yeah, more like that. some structure to the ground is always a good idea. Some branches. Yeah, that works for me. Okay. I never want the stream to end. Sorry, I'm also just a carbon-based life form, so I need some rest. Interesting enough, nearly every life form we know needs some kind of sleep, actually, or times of inactivity. Hello, Casimir. You come. You come. You come here. Okay. No, you can't watch me drawing paleo art to eternity. And no, I'm not a sodium-based alien. Maybe a god, but just a little one. Okay, but what's next? What do you guys think we could tackle now? But first, save this one. Alamosaurus. By the way, I will post all these sketches later in social media, so everyone else will see what I have missed. A little bit more shade on the neck before, and save. Oopala. Yes. Okay. And it's gone. Let's see. Ceratosaurus. That's a nice idea. Utahraptor. Utahraptor was once my favorite dinosaur at all. Caviramus. Also nice. I like this very lanky early pterosaur. I have in the meantime a look at social media. Okay, nothing new. Well, I next time I will announce the stream maybe an hour beforehand or even more. So I love Utahraptor. Who doesn't? You may maybe not know it, but I was one of the initiators of the Utahraptor week that supported the Utahraptor project, where they try to raise some money to prepare and shows a new Utahraptor pack they have in a huge block of sandstone. I think it's 9 tons they have to chip away. Spinosaurus, the ultimate life form. Yes, true, it's pretty awesome. I only want Archosaurs. How about Archosaurus itself? No picture of Utahraptors ever shit. It's Utahraptor after all. Okay, what was the other stuff? I think I... Anomalocaris. Yes, that's a great suggestion. We had no invertebrates yet. Let me quickly Google a nice fossil of these guys, because I mostly know them from the top of my head, but not every detail of the anatomy. Let's see. Let's just do Anomalocaris itself, because that's the one I'm most confident with. But what species? Let's do the... Okay. There are very few good references in the moment. Just want a good depiction of this one in dorsal view. Give it to me, internet. Show me the way. That looks nice. Just do it. Ooh, one of our cats is sitting next to me. Let's do it. So first the body, which looks in the moment just like a very weird slug, but I hope we can change this. Oh, what's going on with this? Burping all the time at the moment. And I probably will need here some directions for the lateral appendages. I will not count now all the fins on the side, just doing some. But I should probably something like that. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, that's a good start. Yep, that looks about right. Now let's clean this up a little. And let's make this one rather dark. Animalocarids were probably dwellers of the shallow waters, but I like to envision them also in deeper biomes. And I think I will make this one colored again. Ideas for coloration, please post them in the chat. I think this one can be very interesting. Yes. With some color on it. Let's make this a little bit darker here in the background. And probably a little bit more light on the fins. Let's have a look into the chat. Imagine wading through some water and getting jumped and bitten by some pterosaurs. That would be very scary. I actually saw some original fossils of the largest known sea scorpion, and they are frightening. It was just one claw, but it was probably 30 centimeters long. Yeah, quite a sight. Bright pink. Are you sure, Zach? I'm not so sure. First off, make this blue overall, this picture. A nice blue. Oh, no. Wrong. Yes. Yep. Some more details on these structures here, whatever you want to call them, these hunting appendages. So, some more suggestions. I mean red and oranges, of course. You mean, yeah, why not? Some oranges. Don't worry, it will be brighter later. Yes, that looks nice. some reddish spots. On here, maybe strips on this tail. And things that could look nice. Yes, now it begins to shine. Let's try a little bit of yellow for the space in between. And also on the flippers. Now back to adding highlights. Not bad. Something, maybe some white for the flippers. Yes. And larger spots get black rim. Like so. Maybe some black tips here. Also here. why not some pink for these appendages. No. Huh? Yes, that's not so bad. Maybe, no, not that one. Making it all a little bit more blue. Nope, 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 nope. But I think it could get some more blue in the background. Maybe some little bubbles. Trailing behind it. And maybe the edge of a reef here. It's coming out of the dark here with some sponges or something like that on it. Yes, it's coming together. Look at that. Yeah. Have a look at the chat. It's pink enough for me. Phytosaur. That's also a nice idea. There are some very interesting phytosaurs out there. Let's have a look at Facebook for a moment. Yeah, I think a Phytosaur, however you want to pronounce it. In German we call them Phytosaurier. Should do it. Let's look for a nice species. Normally I would just do Rutiodon, but Rutiodon is so overused. What do we have here? This very large one I saw in New York would be nice. What was it? Irgendwas mit Simo. No, Smilosuchus. Yes. Let's see. I think this will be the last sketch for today, because we have it here 2 in the morning already, and my butt hurts from all the sitting on this chair. I'm currently in the kitchen here because here we have the best internet. Let's see, that's a nice skeletal to work from. Whoop. Yes. Whoop. Yeah. So let's save this one. Alamosaurus. Boop. And let's do a Smilosuchus. First, let's kill this invertebrate. And how should we do this? Oop. Hier, ich weiß. guys were damn huge, and I just noticed that my proportions are completely wrong. Best just start with the skull. What I'm doing with my life. Whoop. Some nice muscles there. Interesting about Phytosaurs is that they look very much like crocodiles, but they are actually very closely related to the basal-most Archosaurs, so no real, they're fake crocodiles, crocodilians. And you can actually see that very well in many forms because they had their nostrils not at the front of the snout like most crocodilians have them, but actually in the middle of the skull, or even further back near the eyes, where they often were sitting on a little dome, probably to better to stick out of the water. Yeah, this one is very angry, as you can see. Let's add some basic shadows already. It helps. And I think I have to look at my reference here again to get the feet and the armor right, because these animals had quite a different set of osteoderms on their body. And it is a common mistake to just give them crocodile armor. What do we have here? Oh, yes. So interesting, at least some of them had, for example, gular armor, so armor plates on their throat, which could indicate that that was a common area to get bitten by other phytosaurs, probably in combat within one species, for females or prey or whatsoever. I'm here a little bit inspired by the famous Rutiodon piece by Douglas Henderson, as you might see, where a bunch of basal dinosaurs, basal ornithischians, jumping through the forest, and the Rotiodon is not quite happy about it. See, let's specifically look for the skull. There we have it. Okay. These guys had some very awesome jaws. It's quite a shame that they are not more often portrayed in paleo art, because there are some very interesting and weird taxa. Even the well-known Rotiodon itself was a rather odd animal. And when I recall correctly, this guy had some large osteoderms on its neck. Let's have a quick look at the chat. Angry Phytosaur. Yes, indeed. And very sick. Sickest Phytosaur you will see all day. This is my favorite so far. Really nice, awesome stream. Thank you. So now I have to look at the feet again, because I'm not quite sure they were so very croc-like as I remember them, and it's always better to check twice. Where do I have a good picture of their feet? Something here. Load, please. Oh, okay. Yeah. It's quite croc-like, but I just realized that the first toe on the hand here should be smaller, actually. Something like this more. Yep. Really? Yeah, something like that. And probably webbed, like in crocodiles. And that looks like shit. I'll move this a little bit. So whenever you draw these big, huge archosaurs, or in general reptiles with a long tail, remember that they probably had very thick musculature at the base of the tail. Yep. Let's look from afar a little. The tricky stuff will be now the osteoderms. I will have to Google that specifically because I don't want to mess it up. I've done that before. Let's have a quick look. Nope. So osteoderms. Blop. Not just a single one, please. Wool animal. Nope, 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 nope. Oh, this could be something. No. Aren't there any good references of these guys? That's a problem when you are not a popular taxon like T-Rex, where you find references of every bone of every specimen from every angle. And in this case, it's just blap. Let's look for Teodon. Huh? Nope. No, not these guys. Meh. Oh, wait a minute. I think I have a book which could be quite helpful in this case. Ah, yes. Dawn of the Dinosaurs, illustrated by Douglas Henderson himself. Here I should have some nice pictures of Phytosaur bags. Probably. Or not. Ah, here, yeah. That's something to work with. Let's see. Yeah, I should probably make it a little bit darker again. Yep. Hmm. I love drawing dinos, but I haven't been doing much of them, which is puzzling to me. Yeah, it needs some practice once in a while to keep going. So I hope my stream can maybe help you summon enough inspiration or motivation to do some on your own. Let's give this one a little bit color, shall we? Something like this. Beginning. Maybe a little bit darker. So because everything looks better in sepia. You know it's true. Some highlights on the osteoderms. Yes. Maybe makes the background a little darker. Yeah, and I think I will soon end the stream for now, but maybe I will stream again tomorrow already. We will see. Yes. Oops. Yeah, I'm pretty happy with it. Maybe some, yeah, that's something. Rose doing. Some splashes because it's turning angry around to face the opponent. Yeah. Let me know what you think, guys. Who would win, any Triassic animal getting a drink or one splashy boy? Ooh, of course, one splashy boy. Thank you, Spinosaurus. No, it's not a burrito. Splashy, splashy. Always be splashy. Okay. I think I will now end the stream. And will post all these sketches on Facebook and Twitter, maybe DeviantArt, to promote this new streaming service of mine. English. Bad English. What do I do with my life? Yes, I know. You are sad, Zomba. But everything has an end. Let's save this one. But because I agree, this is probably my best sketch of the stream. Meiolania. Hoppala. Saved. Or do you know, I just for fun, I'm opening. Let's go through all these sketches one last time before I end this. We started out with in tapijara reed, something like tapijara, to warm up. As you can see, I wasn't quite warm at this stage yet. Next we have Meiolania, giant turtle from Australia and New Caledonia. Next, Paraceratherium in the sunset. Then of course Spinosaurus in all its spiny glory, eating a huge lungfish. Then Alamosaurus with its osteoderms and long neck. Then an Alamosaurus. I'm not so satisfied with. OBS, what are you doing to me? Now it's working again. Okay. Yeah. I think we lost it here. Alamosaurus, Anomalocaris, and now Spinosaurus, the giant Phytosaur. Angry Phytosaur. I think that's a good picture to end this stream. Thanks to everyone who watched. So far. Yeah. What should I say? Please share the good news everywhere that I'm now streaming. What else? Good night. Sleep well. Good morning, wherever you are. Have a nice day. Yeah. Bye bye.